Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup. I love all things skincare. And I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Okay, today's video is a little bit of a different one because I did something that I said I wouldn't do. And I bought a palette that I don't know if I had any right to purchase. I mean, not right, but if I had any business buying. And I decided that I was going to pick up the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette because it's beautiful. It's so stinking cute. And it came out during the Sephora VIB sale. And quite frankly, it is overpriced. Like, you don't have to wait till the end of the video for me to tell you that this is overpriced because I'm going to say it now. Even though I haven't swatched or touched or put this on my eyes yet, it's overpriced, okay? But it's so pretty, and I have been on this neutral kick, and I wanted to pick this up because I need to see if this is gonna work for me and my complexion. Because as you're probably looking at this and it's like, girl, there are some dusty ashy shades there. That's what I thought too. I will say it looks like it has more depth in person, so I do think that there is some, you know, natural washing out that comes with like film and pictures and all of that, but it still does have some pretty ashy looking shades. So today we're gonna do a first impressions video on this palette. I'm gonna insert some footage of the swatches, talk about the product details, and then of course come back and let you guys know my final thoughts. And then this will be in a palette, like ranking the last eyeshadow palettes I tried video, because this is one that I have to try a couple of times before I give you guys my thoughts. But I'm gonna say straight up, I don't think that this is worth the $68. Okay, so like I said, this palette does retail for $68. It is available on the Sephora website as well as on Makeup by Mario's website. So those are the two places that I know you can pick it up. The description on the website says that this is Mario's dream palette in his 12 signature shades to create effortless ethereal eyes, featuring 3 unique finishes: suede mattes, natural metallics, and a glossy shimmer. This anniversary edition palette is Mario's artistic vision come to life. Suede mattes offer enhanced grip for rich color. Natural metallics feature micronized pigments for a seamless application, and glossy shimmers are infused with pearls coated with emollient binders to impact a reflective wet-like shine on the lids. So that is the description that it has on the website. On the back of the palette you will see the shade names, which, you know, Mario doesn't do any real shade names. It's very makeup artist type of description, so it's EE1, EE2, whatever. But the other details that I want to flag is that this was manufactured in the USA and it was assembled in the Dominican Republic. It has a 12-month shelf life, and based on this, it does look like it is cruelty-free. I don't see anything here that says this is vegan. I'm not sure. If you know, please put it down in the comments. In terms of the packaging, you do get a pretty weighty package, but honestly, it's a basic white packaging, and I'm pretty sure that this is plastic with some metal components in there. So in terms of like luxury, I don't know if I see it. I know people have said that it feels luxurious, but honestly, it's kind of basic. Pretty, you know, white packaging with his little logo there. And I'm not mad at it because, quite frankly, if you know Makeup by Mario or you know his makeup style, it's very much minimalistic, simple. Honestly, I think this aligns very well with his style and his brand, so I think it makes sense for him. All right, that is enough of the product details. You should have seen these swatches pop up. I'm gonna bring you guys in and let's get started on this quick look. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna go into this peachy shade here. I'm gonna use that as my transition shade.
We drink juice from the sweetest berries and dance the night away. Count stars.
Okay, this matte is buttery. Wow.
Hold hands when we need protection. Break bones, but we always plan them. Every heartbreak is a lesson.
Next, I'm gonna go into this brown shade at the bottom here, and I'm gonna use that to deepen up the crease just a tiny bit right here. And I'm using that on the outer half of the eye. And then using that same brush, I'm going to go into the deepest brown shade. This is the true test for me when it comes to this palette because my biggest concern was, is there going to be enough depth for me to get a deep outer corner? And she looked like she deepening. Okay. It's giving something.
Bare feet on the ground while my mind stays dreaming.
Okay, so these are what the mattes are looking like on the eyes. There is a little bit of patchiness here. Not sure why. That just might be me. And I'm taking the first brush that had that peachy shade, and I'm running it over the top to get a little bit better blend between these two. Honestly, this has pretty good depth for what it is. I think I was expecting it to be a little bit lighter, but it gives pretty good depth. I am feeling like I'm getting a little bit of patchiness, but maybe maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. Because it does blend really well. And it might be this primer. Okay, I want to try to use as many shimmers as possible, so I'm actually going to go in with 3 shimmers. The first thing that I want to do is go in with this deep, rich brown shimmer. It's actually kind of like a satin, and I wanted to try this out because it's pretty much the only shade, you know, shimmer shade here with this very satin-like formula. So I want to, you know, start by putting that into this outer part of the eye, blending it into the deep matte. And I'm using a brush for this. I can see this is a really nice all over the lid shade, and then you just take one matte and blend out the edges. Okay, next I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna plop that into the center of the lid. I wanna use my fingers for this. And I'm very, very gently pressing this in because I'm trying to stay true to the vision of this palette, which is a very ethereal eye look. So nothing super bold. And then lastly, I cleaned off my finger, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and I'm gonna put that into the inner third. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, this is what the eyes are looking like right now. I am going to go back in with, you know, the brushes, clean things up, make sure everything is really nice and blended together. I will say I really like how this is looking. One thing I do want to do is just put a light on it so you can really see the sparkles. So this is just like the flashlight from my phone. Okay, I'm impressed so far. I'm gonna go ahead, clean up my face, finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and show you guys a final look and give you my thoughts on this palette. This is the final look, and it is giving glam, it is giving sexy, it is giving sultry, and it's actually giving a little bit of smoke. Like, I'm actually surprised at how much depth I got from this palette because I didn't think I was gonna get this. No, let me just tell you guys what I'm wearing on the rest of my face, and then we'll dive into like my thoughts on this, my first impressions thoughts. So for my foundation, I am wearing the Haus Labs foundation. Really good. I want to do a video comparing this to the Hourglass, so stay tuned for that. Don't know when, but it will happen. My LYS concealer per usual. I actually pulled out an oldie but goodie for my blush and my bronzer. So I'm wearing the old Haus Labs bronzer. This is the bronzer duo, as well as the old Haus Labs blush. This was, you know, back when she was on Amazon. And for my highlight, I decided to go in with the Dior quad. This is the universal quad. I really like this, and I like the Dior formula specifically because it does give a very lit from within, kind of very, very subtle highlight, which is what I'm trying to go for. Again, I think Mario's aesthetic is very much that soft glam, but still pretty glam look. So I tried to not be over the top. For my lips, I'm wearing my Toasty liner from Morphe Per Use, and I actually went in with this Oma Beauty lipstick. It's one of those that's been going like crazy on TikTok. Really nice. I wanted something, again, simple, neutral, really easy peasy. So that is the face. This is the face. Let's talk about the palette. She's cute. I'll give her that. I really loved the way in which the shadows performed. The matte's superb. Blended like a dream. I did experience a little bit of patchiness, but I honestly think it was something I was doing and not the matte itself, because something felt extra and in a good way when I was blending those mattes onto my lids. I felt like I got good pigmentation, but granted, I did not use the lightest shades in this palette. But I will say I felt like the ones that I did use, so this, you know, peachy shade, really good pigmentation as a nice transition shade, and the deep matte actually gave me a lot of depth. For my waterline, I did end up going in with this because I didn't want it to be too deep, but then I still ended up going back in with the darker one to deepen it up a little bit, and I think it works well. This is definitely a nice shade, and it might be good for someone of a deeper complexion, but I kind of, when I look at this, I see some closeness, you know, like I feel like these two shades are close enough. Even like these two brown shades here are kind of close with very slight undertone variations, but I will say I'm not mad at that. Ever since I've started using Blend Bunny shadows, I've come to really appreciate that those minute differences in undertone matter. Like if you are going for something that's definitely more cool tone versus warm, like that slight shift in the undertone does make a difference. And with this is definitely a more warm undertone, this is a more cool undertone, and I see the reason why they exist in this palette. Does that mean you need to get it? Absolutely not. Just saying. It's there in case that matters to you. The shimmers, they're really nice shimmers. They're very, very fine micro sparkle. So I did go in with the satin shade here. I think that's a really nice one and done shade if you want something that's a little bit smoky. You put that all over your lid and then you blend it out with whatever shade you'd like, one or two. So you can use like a light shade to blend out the edges, or you can go in with a darker shade to keep it pretty smoky. But I really liked how that performed. This shade here, it looks gray, but it actually was kind of gold on me in the center, and I thought that added a really nice touch to it. And what I was kind of going for was, you know, dark, light, lightest. So a little bit of a gradient, and I think you can see that. The only thing here, though, is that the front shade, this one does have more silver to it, so it looks pretty silver on me. Personally, because I'm very yellow and I have a very golden undertone, I prefer more gold looks on me. But I will say for this grayish kind of cool tone look, I really like it. I think it's pretty glam. I think that this is something that I would be comfortable wearing to work, wearing to meetings, conferences, and not feeling like I'm doing too much. I think it does give me like a, oh, that's cute, but girl, you're at a work meeting, I need you to tone it down. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. When I did feel the shimmers, they are soft and sort of like not wet but buttery, and I think that is how I would describe all of the shadows in this palette. Just felt buttery, and I really thought that the textures were really nice. Do I think that this palette is worth $68? I said it at the beginning of the video before I even tried it. No. And now that I've tried it, I'm gonna stick with no. I do think that this is nice. I think that it is special, but I don't think that it is special enough for me to be like, this is a $68 palette. And I think there's this larger conversation about where the makeup prices are going, because the market has lost its mind. Like, I get it. Gas going up, food going up, product, raw materials going up. I get it. Everything else is raising, but at the end of the day, when it comes to priorities and the things that we need to survive, makeup is not one of them. So I am, you know, in a lot of ways worried that these brands are going to shoot themselves in the foot with these continued price increases, because people, at some point, you got to make a choice. Do I eat or do I have sparkly eyelids? And quite frankly, my belly wins all the time. So there's that. And in addition to, you know, the shades not feeling like yes, run out and scream at the top of the hills, the packaging is also not giving me the luxury. Is it heavy? Is it weighty? Yes, it is. But look, I already get some makeup all over it. It's a basic white plastic packaging. This doesn't scream luxury to me. This doesn't scream, oh my gosh, yes, this needs to be this expensive. So the question that I went in with this video is, does it work for deeper complexions? Am I going to keep this? Does this go back to Sephora? The answer that I have is yes, it works for my complexion. I am a medium deep skin tone with a very yellow undertone. If you are my complexion, I think it would work well for you. There are so many skin tones past mine that is, you know, I can't answer how deep it would work for folks, because I do think that the vast majority of the shades are definitely on that light side. And I did not use the lighter shades in this palette. So, you know, that there's just something to that. Am I going to keep this palette? Yes. I liked the look that I created, and I like the shadows enough that I'm not going to return this. Partly because I also got this at the 20% off during the VIB sale, which means that I did in some way save money, right? And I got it at that $55-ish price mark, which for me feels like a more appropriate price tag. $55 versus $68. I can see the value there, but I felt like 68 was pushing it a bit. So I'm going to hold on to this. I know that this is supposed to be limited edition. I don't really believe in that. I know his last 3 limited edition quads are still on sale at his website. So I don't even know if this is going to sell out. So there may be a chance for you to get this on sale at like a 20-25% discount if you're really interested in this. Anyways, like I said, I think it works for my skin tone. I like the performance. I'm going to keep this shadow. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys, because I really was pushed over the edge to buy this because I wanted to be a reference point to, you know, folks that maybe my complexion, that maybe like, is this gonna work for us, sis? So hopefully this was helpful. If you did think that this video was helpful, I would absolutely love if you would leave a comment down below letting me know that it was helpful, and if you are planning to pick this up and what your thoughts are on this palette and on these makeup prices, because like I said, I don't know what's going on, but it definitely is, you know, screaming stop buying everything. So leave a comment down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. You know, it really does help. All of that is engagement. I know it takes a lot to write a comment, but you know, if you could just hit the like button, that'd be great. And on your way out, if you haven't already done so, there's a big red subscribe button. Go ahead and click that if you want to see more content, and there's a little bell next to the subscribe button that'll let you know when I upload, because my schedule really isn't consistent. You will get multiple videos a week, but I can't give you a date and a time. So if you want to know when the videos go up, as soon as they go up, that bell will let you know that. Anyways, thank you guys so very much for watching. I appreciate the support more than you know. As always, I love you guys, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!